Hallo YouTube. Wir spielen What Remains of Edith Finch, also was von Edith Finch zurückbleibt. Es ist ein storyreiches Spiel. Ich kann es leider nicht auf Deutsch stellen. Aber wir fangen einfach mal an. Ich hab doch gar nicht. Ich habe es vorher noch nicht gespielt, deswegen wundert mich das auch. Ach so, ja, ich bin Inge. Oh. Mein Journal. Tagebuch. Wie kann ich...
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Ich habe das empfohlen und geschenkt bekommen von einer befreundeten Person und es war schon lange auf meiner Wishlist, also ich bin sehr gespannt. Ich kann zoomen, aber nicht sprinten.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Okay.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Belastung.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Okay. Ganz so
In
schlimm
her
geht's
will,
uns gerade doch.
my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Okay.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Ribbit. Ist das schön, ey. Ich kann nicht in das Wasser ankommen. Oh. Das ist mein Brudi. Milton Finch. Ja, das ist bestimmt mein Bruder.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Ich finde das richtig cool gemacht mit dem Text. Wirklich angenehm. Aber wo bin ich denn hier? Ich wollte eigentlich diesen anderen Weg noch gehen. Ich dachte, das wäre nicht der Weg zum Haus.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Ist das vielleicht der gleiche Weg? Da steht ein... hier. Hirsch. Oh, wild. Weiß nicht. Keine Biologin oder so. Cool. Ich hätte auch gern den Frosch gesehen unten.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Take both paths to the house ist ein Achievement. was wir gerade anlockt haben. Ja, okay. Klar. Okay, gehen wir rein. Und die Frösche sehen. Rabbit.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Ach lol, ich kann hier
Crawling
durch.
through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Cool.
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Der draußen hieß aber ja Milton. Lewis. Dann ist Lewis unser Bruder. Aber wer ist Milton?
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Ist auch lecker.
Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Also Grafik richtig schön, Voice Acting mega. Mit der Schrift, das finde ich cool. Orca-Bild ist immer gut. Wow. Voll schön.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Hm. Boah. Schon
Even the fireplace had a story.
geil.
Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Die deswegen abgehauen sind? Aber meine Fresse, ist das schön. Also würde ich ein bisschen anders einrichten, aber so vom Schnitt mega. Dawn Finch. Okay. The Weird. Und nochmal The Weird. Da brauche ich einen Key. Okay. Ich bin noch nicht.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Tschüss. Gehen wir erst runter? Wir gehen erst hoch. Na komm, wir gehen erst. Ach so,
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement,
Ach,
so
doch.
I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Okay. Okay.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Hatte ich zwei Brüder.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Das sieht auch mega cool aus, ne? Aber warum ist das hier so abgedämmt? Ist da was drin, was... Okay.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Oh, Katzi. Hundi. Walker.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Ja, das macht's schwieriger. Zehn Jahre alt. Okay. Wow.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Ganz schön cool.
Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Das ist wahrscheinlich auch nicht der Schlüssel, ne? Oh, doch. Okay.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Ach so, ja. Sekunde, ich gucke noch gerade im Rest des Hauses. Das halte ich sonst nicht aus. Barbara.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Okay. 26.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Hm. Ja, okay, Moment. Wir gehen hier systematisch durch. Edie und Sven. Okay, da war es mein Großvater.
The last time I was in Edith Senior's room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Hm. Calvin, 11.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Fuck. Gregory. Anja. Okay.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Das letzte sah aus wie ein Badezimmer, fand ich. Aber was weiß ich schon.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Ah, okay. Dann gehen wir mal in dieses hier.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Mollys Zimmer. Ach so, da haben wir eben reingeguckt, ja, okay. Und eigentlich dürfen wir hier nicht rein. Oder durften wir hier nicht rein. Verstehe.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here. Before my mom sealed the doors.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. My Halloween candy was all gone.
Scheiße.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
I thought about what?
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Wow, Molly. You deserve death. Joking. Maybe not. Was ist hier?
I kept eating and eating.
Oh, die sind giftig. Soll ich die trotzdem essen? Oder sind wir daran gestorben? Ich esse immer nicht.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
Hi.
I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
What? Aber komm, flieg weg. Dankeschön.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Ist das cool? Wie nice, die verschiedenen Perspektiven. Ich komme gar nicht klar. Da ist das Füllchen. Dann muss ich wahrscheinlich darüber. Okay.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Was mache ich jetzt? Kann ich... Nee, ne? Wo ist denn der Vogel? Da. Ja, wie soll ich denn... Ach so. Easy. Ich weiß nicht, wie geil ist es, eine Katze zu sein, aber überall hinspringen zu können.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Bisschen wie so ein Eichhorn. Ich wollte auf den Stuhl. Darf ich nicht. Okay, kann ich auf den... Nein. Ja, ich weiß leider nicht wie. Muss ich chargen?
I could tell she was getting really tired.
Ich kann chargen. Oh, Piggies. Wo ist die Maus? Oh, ich will den Vogel nicht essen.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Komm, flieg weg. Sehr gut.
I gobbled her up,
Scheiße.
and suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Ah, okay. Ich steuere jetzt dort. Nicht genau, wohin ich soll. Ich folge mal dem Geräusch, so gut ich kann.
Rabbits.
Ja, fast.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up,
That's
and
just
I
scary.
didn't chew one bit. Then
Ist
I
auch
flew
keine
off
Zähne.
to find something bigger.
Nee, aber gutes Game. Gutes Game. Ich will nur keine Tierchen töten. will ich was Größeres,
A
okay.
mama rabbit.
Ach Gott, okay.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Cool. War nicht so cool auf Land. Aua. Weil das ist jetzt blöd. Wie kann ich... Die Steuerung ist irgendwie anders. Gott, bitte stirb nicht. Aber wir schaffen das.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean.
Digga,
Now,
brutal.
I was hungrier than ever.
Nee, okay.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Armes Baby.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Was bin ich? Bin ich so ein Oktopus oder so? Oh, cool. Oder? Cool. Oh, das ist ja mega cool.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Hä? Da sehe ich. Nee, kein Vögelchen mehr. Durch. Jetzt ein bisschen wie Snake. Da komme ich ja her. Hier rein. Also ich kann auch nicht unter die Autos. Hier rein. Hier ist ja der Sound genau. Wieder hoch. Jetzt wieder rein. Okay, dann ziehen wir uns noch eine Runde. Vielleicht bin ich doch falsch. Diese Mechanik ist so geil, das habe ich noch nie gespielt.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Ja dann. Jetzt ist Dicky.
Ja! Ah!
Mal außen rum mal gucken. Hau ab, Vogel. Oh, doch.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Mega cool. Ich kam gerade aus dem Klo, ne? Physik.
I got closer and closer.
Oh, es ist ein Kind. Ah, das bin ich selber. Es ist mein Zimmer.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
Wie cool, wo auch immer das hinführt, ist mega cool gemacht.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Ich hörte Katzi. Da ist Katzi. Hey. Wo ist sie? Hm? Kann ich hier raus? Oh, ich kann hier raus.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories.
What
Edie
stories?
would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Oh.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year,
Oh.
just in time to replace the old ones. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Ist er echt da gestorben? Oh, das ist ja furchtbar.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Ist das schön, ich kann nicht.
Her room was like a museum.
Ja.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Was muss ich machen? Ach, ist das schon? Nee, das machen wir nochmal. Ich glaube, ich habe das falsch gemacht.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johann. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Ja, gut, dass sie das
Whatever's wrong with this family, it
aufschlägt.
goes back a long ways.
Also, Edie und Sven unten links sind meine Großeltern und Edies Tochter ist Molly. Molly ist aber nicht meine Mutter, sondern vom... Nee, check's auch nicht. Vielleicht bin ich ja auch adoptiert oder so. Süß. Echt schön. Also krass, schön gemacht.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Oh, der flauschige Rum.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Schon. Haben wir dafür was? Nee, ne? Oh, doch, okay.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Geil. Oh mein Gott.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Kann ich da... Ah ja, cool. Oh, Milton. Oh, wow. das Molly? Oder sind wir das? Wir haben ja braune Haare, aber als Kind vielleicht noch nicht. Fort Calvin. Oh. Tschüss. Wait, das ist Calvin und das ist Sam. Okay. Das ist krass, es ist so detailreich und so liebevoll gemacht, als wäre es echt. Also man sieht natürlich an der Grafik, dass es nicht echt ist, wobei die Grafik echt nice ist. Aber krass, wie viel Liebe hier reingeflossen ist. Das finde ich voll
I knew
berührend.
Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Ach so, die haben gesagt, der hat mehrere Jahre neben dem gelebt, während der Calvin schon tot war, ne? Command Center. Okay.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Das ist ein cooles Zimmer. Ja, der ist echt nur 11 geworden. Krass. Oh, voll schön.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Bin noch nie in einem Game
My brother said
geschaukelt,
he'd
glaube
die
ich.
before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
Muss ich weiter schaukeln? Ist das mein Schicksal? Darüber zu schaukeln? Was ist, wenn ich... Nee, ich bremse jetzt. Ich schaukel mal nicht. Okay, ich glaube, ich muss schaukeln. Das ist das einzig Normale, was man tun würde in dieser Situation. If there's a schaukel, you must schaukel. So I shall schaukel.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Ich habe als Kind auch versucht, sehr hoch zu schaukeln, aber das war ja jetzt schon was anderes. Also Calvin und Sam sind Brüder. Brüder von Molly, sozusagen, und Barbara. Und alles Kinder von Edie und Sven? Krass, ey, wie sad.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Ja, verständlich. Ah, hier geht's auch noch hoch. Mega. Okay, aber nur bis hier. Oh, das kann ich. Alter, was? Digga, was für ein Haus?
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Ah, okay. Ist das cool?
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Allmann.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks.
Wusste, dass da noch was ist.
I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Mache ich das? Ach, das mache ich tatsächlich. In dem Comic.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Und ich laufe im Comic. Oh mein Gott.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Nicht da lang, wo das Blut ist? Da muss ich... Ah.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear. Indeed.
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax.
Dirt.
I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She
Nice.
threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Ich bin wieder dran. Was machen die Augen da? Ach so, ist Halloween. War hier nicht ein Zimmer?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hookman, and was speechless.
Ach so.
He was quite smashing.
Easy.
And Johnny was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
Okay.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Komm her.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Also nochmal draufhauen. Komme. Ganz, ganz langsam. Vorsichtig. Mit Wettnestern weg.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Ist grad schlecht. Oder ist es die Pizza, die ich bestellt habe? Dann okay.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Drauf. Oh dear. Scheiße. Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Van Finch. Damn.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Okay. Aber wie cool war das wieder? Ich komme nicht klar. Okay, dann gehen wir zurück und gehen in dieses andere. Oh, können wir hier lang? Nein, können wir gar nicht. Gut.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Heißt das, wir gehen jetzt zur Music Box? Ja, ne? Und holen uns da den Key, der noch, ja, da sein müsste. Richtige Dad Cave.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Ach, Mini-Drache. Cool.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Meine Eltern haben das gemacht. Die hatten ein riesiges Haus und die haben die Geschenke in den Keller versteckt und ich habe die immer
It
besucht.
turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
What?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Everyone dies?
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Ja. Okay, also Grandma hat hier so einen Apokalypse-Keller mit Walter. Nee, warte mal, mit Walter? Dann war Walter hier. Oh. Und hier ist ein Fenster? Nee. Ah, okay. Gut. Ah, krass.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
Whoa.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today.
Warte mal, ist er...
I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Fällt mir nicht so ein, ne? Finde ich krass cool. Auch
I know it's out there somewhere.
irgendwie. Also ich denke mir,
Whatever killed Barbara.
so ein Haus mit so vielen Geheimgängen ist einerseits total geil, vor allem als Kind, aber andererseits irgendwie auch gruselig, dann vor allem als Erwachsener, wenn du nicht weißt, was ist in den Gängen. Sind da nur meine Kinder, falls ich Kinder habe, oder Katzen? Oder, I don't know.
And Molly.
Würde mich auch so ein bisschen uneasy machen.
And Calvin.
I've seen that. Was ist hier? Müll? Ich glaube, es ist Müll.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Das ist so cool.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Ja.
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month.
Or a day.
Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Nein. Wirklich?
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Krass.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Wahrscheinlich, ja.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Wahrscheinlich.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Jo.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Hold on. Der ist 30 Jahre wohnt er im Keller, weil der Schiss hat. Vor dem Curse, vor dem Fluch. Und dann kommt er hier raus, wird von einem Zug überrollt. Und die machen hier so ein Kreuz für ihn mit Zügen drauf. Oder mit einem Zug. Verstehe ich das richtig? Ah ja. Jeder wie er mag. Das sieht schon sehr, sehr geil aus hier. Oh, Sternenhimmel. Oh.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Wer bin ich denn? Bin ich nicht Edith? Scheinbar. Wasser? Nein. Okay.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, was für ein cooler Baum, und dann habe ich das Baumhaus gesehen. Goals. Mega.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Ja. Oh, krass.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Schatzi.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Ist cool. Irgendwie. Ach, guck mal, fast auf den Tag. Schön individuell. Auf den Tag.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Ach so, das ist das Haus, was damals abgesoffen ist. Das ist so cool. Die Story, was die Leute sich hier anscheinend für Mühe gegeben haben. Also nicht nur die EntwicklerInnen, sondern auch in der Story die Leute, die hier diese Sachen gebaut haben. Wow.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Das sind die Söhne von Sam. Verstehe ich das richtig? Und der linke Gregory ist nur 1 Jahr alt geworden und der rechte ein bisschen mehr, aber auch nicht so krass alt. Und danach ist sein Vater gestorben. Krass.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Ach, das ist Milton.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Yay, Baumhaus.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ich hab's befürchtet, dass sie mit You uns meint, also ein Kind von ihr. Und ich dachte, mit 17 ist vielleicht ein bisschen früh. Andererseits, wenn sie Sorge hat, dass sie bald stirbt, vielleicht auch sinnvoll. Krieg ich auf das Glas. Aber hier.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Jo, kann man so sagen.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Nein, komm, nimm das.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Kann mich nicht umdrehen?
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
Ja, dann muss ich den umdrehen.
Not quite.
What?
Perfect.
Ist das wieder cool.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Aw. You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
should not have drunk all that coffee.
Wo ist denn meine Tochter? Kann ich die von hier nicht sehen? Doch, ne? Sonst muss ich muss die doch bestimmt fotografieren, damit wir weiter können. Wie ist sie denn?
Nothing quite like being outside.
Hold still while I take a
Hey!
That's a keeper.
A little more gas in the tank, I guess. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Nein.
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive...
Ach, ich wollte doch nur ein
Great
Foto
shot,
machen.
Don!
Oh, furchtbar. Ja, was soll das denn, Arschloch? Cool.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Furchtbar, 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 furchtbar. Ach so, bin ich das? Oh.
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Ach, lol.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's...
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Ja, also... Karma und so. Da finde ich es nicht schade, wenn er regelmäßig Tiere gejagt hat und so, oder?
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Aber schon scheiße für die Tochter natürlich. Nicht so cooler Typ.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Naja, aber nur also nicht seinen eigenen, ne? Sondern nur den von anderen. Wobei doch, stimmt, er war ja in der Armee. Nevermind. Gehen wir nicht raus? Gehen wir nicht raus. Okay. Okay. Was ist schön mit dem Balken da. Oh, Dachfenster. Oh, mega. Bin ich richtig? da wieder zurück? Nee, das kann eigentlich nicht sein, oder? Nee. Oder hier? Nein. Hm. Was habe ich übersehen? Wow.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Ach, der ist nur ein Jahr geworden, ne? Der Sohn von Sam.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Quatsch. Kann ich. Das ist nicht hoch genug, tief genug. Aber. Was mache ich hier? Okay.
Watching over Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Das ist gar nicht so einfach, den zu steuern.
He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
Buchstaben da runterholen. Nochmal machen. Moment. Okay. So. Okay. Ja, okay.
I know how silly it sounds.
Großartig.
I'm worried about a baby being too happy. But I can feel him slipping away.
Gregory.
Oh,
I know you did everything you could.
ich bin noch nicht fertig.
Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Oh nein, bin ich in der Badewanne ersoffen?
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. What happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too.
Boah.
Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Oh, das ist echt hart. So bei Tierchen und bei Menschenkindern finde ich es besonders krass, wenn denen was zustößt. Das trifft mich doll. Wenn sie so unschuldig sind und teilweise hilflos. Und erwachsene Menschen dann oft nicht gut aufgepasst haben oder so. Was ist mit Dawn?
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Oha. Kleiner Goth. Gus der Goth.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Oh no.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Weiß nicht, wo Dad ist, aber okay.
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Gerne auslösen. Oh. Das wollte ich nicht.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Das hat die Mutter geschrieben?
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Okay, ich wollte eigentlich mehrere Folgen draus machen, so 2 oder so, aber ich denke, jetzt spielen wir durch. Oh, geil, eine Kletterwand drin. Oh, wie cool. Dieses Haus, ey, ist schon echt cool. Abgesehen von den ganzen toten Leuten. Ist es ein gutes Haus? So, wo muss ich denn jetzt lang? Nicht zurück, das hatten wir ja schon. Irgendwie hoch. Wie komme ich da hoch? Kann ich hochklettern? Oh,
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
Nicht gedacht, dass
At
das
the
geht.
time, it was as far away as she could get.
Schon eher eine 2, ne? Also, nicht schön.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Okay, cool.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Ah, okay. Mutter Dawn, Vater Sanjay. Okay.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Ja, gute Sätze to go by.
but it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Warum gelb? Aber wow.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
Ich wollte schon sagen, also das ist ja mega cool. Vor allem mit 11 ist er gestorben? Ganz schön gut. Also nicht, dass er gestorben ist, sondern wie er gemalt hat, meine ich. Obviously. Goals. Ich kann nicht. Schön, wenn es nicht so traurig wäre. Stell mir vor, in so einem Turm zu malen. Okay, im Sommer ist Kacke, ne? Der ist echt scheiße heiß. Aber so nachts? Mit einem Tee oder so? Wow.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Wie mache ich das? Doch. Das habe ich als Kind auch gemacht. Daumenkino. Es ist ein bisschen schwierig zu steuern. Sorry. Großartig. Oh, ist das schön. I can't.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Malen im Mondlicht, ne? Boah. Ey, absoluter Dream hier.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Krass. Oh, no, I get it.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Unfassbar schön.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Achso, nein, ich will nicht raus. Nein, 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 nein. Sorry. Da vorne hin.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Was ist das da? Ach so, das Bild. Ah, das ist ein. Oh, okay.
I asked him to describe it.
Ist das gemacht? Also ich töte die Fische oder schneide die auf und währenddessen kann ich mit den Pfeiltasten diese Person steuern.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats and toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Louis. So I let him go on. even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Das ist so cool gemacht.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for...
So gay.
radiant rainbows.
Schön, dass man hier eine Wahl hat. Oh nein, nein!
He followed the sound of his electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. Began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh. Oh no.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising me. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Aber ich hoffe, Edith hat Therapie, ey, wie soll man das sonst aushalten?
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Ich dachte, der Strom war abgestellt. Naja.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Voll schön. Ach, wir sind noch schwanger. Edith ist schwanger. Gerade.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories! I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
Ich kann das steuern.
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself.
Ist das der Geburtskanal?
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Ich glaube ja. Das ist ja cool gemacht.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it.
It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone.
I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Die ist noch ein Jahr älter geworden dann. Krass. Boah. Aber ich muss mich echt zusammenreißen, gerade nicht zu heulen. Also nichts gegen heulen, das ist schon okay. Ich muss das jetzt noch nicht auf dem Video haben. Das mache ich gleich in Ruhe. Ich fand das Hammer. Also wie das erzählt wurde, wie das Storytelling war, die Story an sich, wie sad und emotional das war, wie persönlich und detailliert, ne? Diese Liebe zum Detail und die Tragik dabei. Großartig. Also ich habe noch nicht so viele Story-Games gespielt. Gerade fällt mir nur The Beginner's Guide noch ein. Und Before Your Eyes. Ich glaube, ich muss das öfter machen, weil das gefällt mir total gut. Also ich hatte auch zwischendurch das Gefühl, das ist wie ein Buch lesen, aber mit Bildern, aber kein Film. Also weil man ja selber interagiert. Ich kann es nicht gut beschreiben und es klingt jetzt vielleicht ein bisschen dumm, aber so, als würde ich ein Buch lesen und mir das im Kopf vorstellen und so sieht es dann aus, aber nicht wie ein Film. Ein Film sieht ja häufig dann nochmal anders aus als see Johans name in the credits. Der Film sieht ja oft nochmal anders aus, als man sich das im Buch vorgestellt hat. Ja, großartig. Wirklich, wirklich super schön, total gefühlvoll. Ja, danke an die Person, die es mir geschenkt hat. Oh, jetzt kommen doch die Tränen. Nee, war wirklich, wirklich ein Megaspiel. Ich würde es jeder Person empfehlen, wenn man Story Games mag. Und so ein bisschen bittersweet Genre. Wirklich schön. Ich lasse das mal noch laufen. Babys sehen so doof aus manchmal. Aber ich finde auch das total cool. Das macht es nochmal so nahbar und so emotional. Ach, Annapurna. Okay, die sind eh geil. Also wenn ihr davon noch nichts gespielt habt. Ich glaube, die haben sogar auch Before Your Eyes gemacht. Und noch eins, was ich super fand, aber ich komme nicht auf den Titel. Super Studio. Ja, das kann ich mir vorstellen. Das war krass zu testen. Die ganzen Optionen und so. Und die ganzen verschiedenen Mechaniken. Das ist auch noch so ein Ding, diese kleinen, ich will nicht sagen Minispiele, aber diese jeweils eigenen Storys von den Charakteren, wo man dann nochmal eine andere Mechanik hat, ein anderes Feeling, als wäre man wirklich diese Person, weil jeder ja die Welt unterschiedlich wahrnimmt. Also mind blown, wirklich super, super toll. Ja, danke fürs Zuschauen. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Schreibt, kommentiert, liked, bla bla bla, aber ich will jetzt nicht die Stimmung irgendwie kaputt machen. Also, tschüss.